don't think we can get any better.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Rubber City Throwdown, the official Voices of Honor Fighting Championship. Today we have Honor Fighting Championship promoter and his son. We got Jeremy and Jeremy, or JJ. And we have Apex Fight Systems coach, Bryan Clark. Welcome.
What's up?
Thank you for coming on the show again. This is the second time that we've had both of you, all three of you on. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the event, man. Honor Fighting Championship 5. It's fight week, baby.
I can't wait, man. I've been excited for the last month. I don't know if
Just a month. I've been excited since they started putting this card together, man. This is a very, very, very interesting and big card for Honor. I like that you took it back to the Chaparrals, and Scott Corbin has done a fantastic job putting this card together right now. I remember talking to you on the phone, and I was telling you, I don't think you understand how big this card is. You know, this is there's a lot of good fighters fighting on this card, and they're like, typically what you'll have like a big name fighting a relatively unknown. What you have now is two big names fighting each other, and that's what you want. You got like James Ned versus Tyree. That's a really interesting fight. Not to mention that fight's big because James is dropping down from super heavyweight to heavyweight for this fight. And then James, who's Tyree, who typically fights at 185 or 205, is now jumping up to heavyweight to take this fight. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, James, man, he dropped a lot. Seen him the other day.
Yeah.
Didn't even recognize him.
I think last time I talked to Corbin, this is one of the cards that he got text messages and calls like, this card is awesome, like, good job. He's I know he's pretty proud of it. And this card also sets up like 3 more events as far as the amateurs title fights. You've got 3 or 4 fights where the winners could eventually fight for titles. Like, you can have stare downs if a certain person wins, and then the winner of the other 155 fight. So it's gonna be a good show.
And we got some. Let me see. We got the 185 title, which Fred Davis and Jamal McClain, which we've talked about last month. We've been talking about how this is a very interesting fight. Personally, I feel it's a bad fight for Fred Davis. I know a lot of people on the outside looking in are looking at these two fighters and going, what the hell is going on? What is going through Fred's mind? And I have actually personally had a conversation with Fred about this, and I asked him straight up, saying, why'd you take this fight? It's a lot of fighters like to do the whole, oh, I'm not afraid of anybody. I'll fight anybody. And yeah, you'll fight anybody. Anybody can fight anybody. But career-wise, why would you take this fight? Fred Davis, who fights at 170, moving up to 185 to fight an undefeated Jamal McClain. And it's like, why would you do this? Well, he answered it very blatantly and respectfully. He said, you know what? I'm 42 years old. I'm in the Masters division. This is it, man. This is the only opportunity I'm going to have to fight for a title. Win or lose, I'm going to take it. So I can't wait to see that fight. I really hope I hope Fred puts on a show, man. I really do.
Dude, I can't believe how many Fightopia people was coming out.
Really, you're surprised that there's a lot of Fightopia guys coming out? Wasn't there like 4?
I was surprised
at the one in March.
I was surprised that they were able to get all of the ones that got on this card. Because we've got.
No, continue.
Are you serious right now?
Gamer chair.
I know, man.
That's the reason why he reclined it, was so that he could show it off.
I was gonna get the one with the foot stand too. I was like, nah.
Oh, great! Then you're gonna be. What was that movie? Grandma's Boy. You can't see me.
Continue.
Anyways, no, we got Tim Hughes coming out here. We've got
Doug Lewis.
Doug Lewis, and then they were also saying,
was it Tim Fry?
Yeah, Tim Fry.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
He hasn't fought for a little bit. That's gonna be interesting.
So I can't wait for those because they always put on a great show. I mean, especially Tim Hughes and Fry. He also, from what we've been told, because he's, I believe, new to Fightopia, correct?
Tim Fry?
Yeah.
I don't want to answer that because I don't know. I don't know if he's been there for a little bit and he's just been out of the fight game, but he's been training there,
Right.
or if he's completely new to Fightopia as a whole. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? But I know that dude's got a bunch of fights. I just don't know who he was associated with.
I think Fightopia is newer than he is.
Okay.
That makes
You know,
sense.
that
yeah.
makes more sense.
But I don't know. I don't know. He got into the game before Fightopia established themselves as a team. But how long has he been with Fightopia
Right.
as a coach,
Right.
mentor to some of these upcoming amateurs? We don't know.
Okay.
That's something that I have to we'd have to probably ask. When we
Well, then we
interview
will.
him, we'll interview him in the pre-fights. We'll get
Right.
an opportunity.
So Jeremy, what's the big news for this one? What do you got planned for this?
It's going to be a little surprise for you guys. In the beginning, you know how we always do a military theme. We have a pretty cool one coming up. We're going to do some cool stuff for different sponsors, like Kim Tam Park. We're going to have the girls at Kim Tam, and we're going to play girls, and
Oh,
I'm going to try to get 100 of them running out in bikinis. So.
oh,
My God.
and this is where we've went. That is, I'm almost married, Jeremy. You're gonna get me in trouble.
And my wife, your fiance, will be at the show, and
We're gonna
So
be-
it's safe to say we're gonna be in the back room.
Yeah.
I'll record it for you guys.
Well, hey, that gives us an excuse. I'm the camera guy, so I need to take a picture with you and the girls, right?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how many I have yet, but I gave away 100 free season passes to 3 different modeling agencies. So, you know.
So let me get this straight. Just last show, we couldn't get one ring girl for $100. But you hand out free season passes to Kim Tam.
And you've got
And you've got, like,
a whole following.
50 girls that are we'll run out and Jesus, what is wrong with people?
Way to.
It's my whole entire marketing plan for Kim Tam right there.
Well, that works out. And also, let's talk.
It's the bar method. Yeah,
It's gonna
if you're
be
looking girls
Baywatch.
bartending, it brings guys in. Yeah.
It's going to be Baywatch in Kim Tam Lake. We're going to be seeing that next. So let's get into Kim Tam. The last time we talked to you, it was all in planning phase. Where did that go?
We're up and running.
Really?
Yep, it's going pretty good. You know, it's definitely affected weather-wise. So
Right.
we have sunny days like on Father's Day. Unbelievable. We ran out of parking. There had to be, I think there was 2,000 people there. It was packed all the way around the whole entire lake. We had a couple of contests. I won the belly flop contest.
We heard that you are now a title
Of course
owner,
you did. Of course you
a
won.
title holder. I think it was
the fans or the people, you know, applauded for it and stuff. That's who won it.
So the only reason why you won is just because you're the big boss. Everyone wants free season passes.
Were you throwing out Kim Tam shirts or anything like that? That's why they were clapping even harder for. I'm just trying to figure this out. So 300 tons of sand.
300 tons. I had no idea what the hell that looked like even. So
I could have told you.
I just know after 200 tons, I was getting a price break. So I'm like,
Right.
yeah, just hell with it. Bring out
Imagine
300
it
tons.
looks a lot like Iraq,
Probably.
little Afghanistan. I don't know. I can imagine what that looks like.
I mean,
Tons of sand.
I used to work for a company that worked out of a place called Sober Sand and Gravel, and we used to haul sand all the time.
Ding.
I'm not promoting them. They're not even our sponsor.
Let's just start plugging everybody, shall we?
I mean, we can.
We're
SK
just all
Asphalt
over
and
the damn
Concrete.
place today. Let's get back to the event real quick. This is where the difference between myself and Matt lie. I'm like, hey, let's talk about the event. Matt's like, so this water park.
I mean, it's a big
We'll get
big
there.
step for Jeremy.
We'll get
and-
there.
and
We got to
everything.
stay a little bit on track.
What I was say
right?
about Davis, small chance he's ever going to go pro. You know,
Yeah, right.
he's
right.
probably going to fight. I don't think he's going to be done fighting after this fight, win or lose. But this is probably his only chance at gold. You know,
Right.
So
We have like Nick Brashear does the same thing. Nick Brashear is getting, and he's not 42. He's what, 36, 37?
He's 40.
No, is he really?
39.
38, 39.
Who am I
yeah.
thinking of?
Yeah, he's
Okay, 39. I think he's 39. Yeah. But he like Nick Brashear is making his pro debut at Nautica. That's probably going to be You'll probably see him make his pro debut. And the last
gonna-
time we talked to him, he was
Yeah.
like, "That's it.
That's it,
I
yeah.
want to do my pro debut, win or lose. If he loses, I think he might see him again. But I think if he wins his pro debut. I think that's it.
But then again,
he's going to be there Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And
then again, there's a lot of people out there that say that, and then you see them 15, 16, 17 more times, especially if they are.
it
You know,
depends on the landscape of MMA.
I don't
too,
think
like-
we're gonna see Nick Brashear 16, 17 pro at his age.
I said more times, not fighting. I'm joking. I'm joking. Would you
Sometimes
stop
the
it?
crap that comes out of your mouth.
I only learn it from you.
We had Nick at one of our OCW shows as an enforcer.
Right.
That's pretty good. So-
You would when we had you on last time. I think we were talking about it, and then when we had Josh Saenz come on a couple weeks ago, he brought that up again too. That he was on there, and he said he actually put a couple guys out.
Oh yeah.
Had to
Like,
put a
didn't he
couple
carry
guys
like
out.
3 guys out
Yeah.
up the ramp?
Yeah, just threw him on his shoulder, carried him out.
Wow.
Let's talk about the main event, though. Now, granted, what you see on like MMA Underground and fight or Tapology isn't a tentative bout order, but I'd like to say that the Michael Ato and Kyle Booth fight right now is the 155 title is the main event for Honor Fighting Championship 5. Let's talk about that. I know Michael Ato is 5-0, 6-0. I think
Hungry.
he just
Got a
recently
title?
won a title in Michigan, and now he's coming here to take the.
Is that the main event?
I think so. I mean,
We're not sure.
yeah, it's there's no tentative bout
It's one of the
order,
title
but
fights,
it's
most
it's one of the
it
title
is,
fights. So and this is an all amateur show, so it's definitely it's up there. And right now it's at the top of the list on at least on MMA Underground. So
Right.
I think that is the main event, and that's another fight that we were kind of talking about where we're like, props to Kyle, man, for taking the fight.
Stepping up.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Will Ferg was originally supposed, and that I honestly think that the Will Ferg and Michael Ato fight would have been better.
Yeah.
I think Will Ferg's chances at beating Mike was a lot better than Kyle has. Not to like downplay Kyle's fighting ability or his, or anything like that. I'm not talking bad about the guy, but on paper, Kyle loses his
Yeah.
fight. You know what I'm saying?
And with Kyle, he's at Iron and Soul. Those guys have improved a lot in the last couple of years.
Right.
From when you first started seeing them come in, they were athletes who could fight. Now they're fighters who are athletic.
Right.
So they have a good transition.
That,
going on. So
They had a lot of boxers that come out of there. Like Troy Brown is he's older now, but he was a boxer out of there. I actually got an opportunity to at Operation Shockwave talk to a lot of guys who train there. So it is they're not new. I don't think they're new, but they're
No.
definitely up and coming as far as the quality of fighter that's coming out of there.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, not talking bad about the guy. I've never actually seen him fight. So go out there and prove everybody wrong. I'm just telling that we've seen Michael Ato fight 3 times, and the dude's a monster.
Yeah.
And he's
Brutal.
he's fought guys that like quality fighters. Now, okay, the first guy that we seen him fight, he ended up fighting Alec, and Alec got injured in like 7 seconds of the first round. I'm not gonna judge him based on
That was
that.
Alec Price, right?
Yeah, but when he fought Ben Meese,
That was a boxing.
That was like, and Ben Meese is a very talented striker, and he's not a bad ground guy as well. And Michael put him out in the first round, so it's
in that fight, you saw how strong he is.
Right.
you saw how aggressive he
Yeah.
was. That was the I didn't expect the amount of aggression that came out of Ato. I didn't expect that.
Right.
So it really showcased the explosiveness in his ability to fight and how he fights. And I'm interested to see how he's going to take this one, how he's going to approach this fight. Is it still going to have that explosive mentality?
He has to.
Is he going to take it to the ground? Is he going to stand up? I don't know.
I have a really good feeling that he's going to come out and he's going to try and stand and bang first. Then, if his opponent comes in to bring him down, then he's going to showcase all of his groundwork that he's got, and he's going to go in for a really hard fight. I'm telling you, this guy's hungry, and that's all he wants. He wants titles after titles after titles, and then he's going to go pro.
Yeah, I mean, if he wins this fight, it'll be his second amateur title. He'll be 7-0. So at least in Ohio, he still won't be able to go pro.
Right.
Last year, I think a year ago, he pro, like
Right
hands
away.
down. He's got 2 titles. Oh yeah, he's ready. But under the new rules set in Ohio now,
What is it,
he's
9 now?
yeah 9
It's
fights.
9, but
Five.
if you go and talk to the commission, you can get like an exemption. to
Didn't
go pro.
Corey
Corey did,
Breckner
yeah.
get
Yep.
that? And then
Did he get approved?
Brian
Wow.
Doogie Hauser got that as well.
Shaka. He went
Shaka.
pro.
Worthy.
Didn't like Brashear get?
Yeah, they turned him down.
Yeah, they turned him down. Right?
Well, and they turned Corey down the first time too.
Oh, did they?
'Cause they were trying to get him an honor card, and they said no. And then, him and his dad went. They live in Youngstown, so it's not a drive for them. They went to the commissioner's office, and Bernie likes Corey, so he said yeah.
Oh, well then,
I mean, Corey's a good kid, so
Why the hell they turned him down the first time then?
because he didn't go and talk to somebody that he likes.
Well, I mean, it's Bernie. It's like it's not like there's more than one commissioner, right? Like the head of the. I mean,
it's Bernie. Yeah, Bernie says he's approve or deny. It's Bernie. But I was sending Corbin a screenshot. The fights last night, like Jordan's will hear you won a title for Hard Rock.
Isn't that an Alliance MMA organization though?
It was, yeah.
I think it's all. You're talking about Beverly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, there was a fight on there, and it was a 3-1 versus like a 1-10.
What?
A 1-10. Why?
1-10.
Why would you even approve that against an 0-1 or an 0-0?
And I sent him that, and he's like, "How'd they get that approved?"
Yeah, right.
And then you look at the result, knockout.
I was like my buddy Tommy Kazias, right? The Greek guy. I love this kid. He's one of my best friends, man. I love this dude. But he's like 0-6, and he just hung it up, man. After his 6, I think he lost in like 9 seconds. After that last one, man, he's like, you know what? I'm done. Hey, I'm not done. But 1-10, I want to know the one guy that he beat. I want to ask him some questions. I want to know. I got some stuff I need to say to this guy. But and we got Jeffrey. God, dude, this dude's last name cracks me up. Ofik.
I'm not gonna do it this
There's
time.
kids here, man. I don't want to. But,
I'm not.
and then
I'm not gonna do
Joseph
it this time.
Franco. Joseph Franco, and so we got a 3-1, and with Joe, and then Jeff is 3-2, and it's I think they're gonna do this at flyweight. The one fighter is a bantamweight, the other one is listed at fly, so I think they're gonna try to get him at flyweight. But this is an interesting fight as well.
It's not right.
Well, let's talk about.
Here, we know you're going to lose, but it'll be a great time to watch.
What?
It's the freaking card.
Was it a minute and 34 round 1?
I can't believe it lasted that long. Was it just a feeling out process? Was the guy legitimate like running away?
Oh, he's lost 10 times, so experience would tell.
He
you.
does it. He's just. It was
He
his
knows how to
fight.
dance
He
the
just
cage.
increases his round time by 10 seconds every fight. But Casey Turnbull versus Lucas Mass. What do you got in this fight? Because I know that Lucas fights with Jose, right? He trains with Jose,
Yeah.
and you are friends with Jose. You're associated with Jose, and then, but we saw Casey who fought Darnell,
Right.
who we represented at his last fight. So we had an opportunity to see firsthand like the power and the strength that Casey has. But we also know the ground game and the strength and the cardio that Lucas has as well. So how do you see this fight?
Like, from what I saw, like Darnell's striking is a lot more cleaner than Lucas.
Right.
You know, Lucas is tough, good striking. Watching Darnell, take Casey down and keep him on the ground, being a smaller guy.
And Darnell's not. Okay, no offense to Darnell, dude. And I think he'll agree with me too because he
Right.
was really excited when he got that double leg. Darnell's not a ground guy.
No, he's solid on the ground, but his on the feet, that's where he excels.
Yeah.
You know, but seeing him hold Casey down, get him in a crucifix, and to where I was like, I see what you're doing. Go for it.
Right.
If it's there, do it. I saw it coming. And if I can see it from 15 feet away and the guy you're doing it to doesn't know it's coming and it's that obvious, I know he's a boxer. I just think that Lucas, if he gets us to the ground, he's probably going to get a pretty quick submission. So, yeah, and with a quick submission, it could be first round, second round. And, not taking anything away against Casey, he could change his game plan,
Right.
have a better sprawl. There's a lot of options. But
Lucas's last fight, he lost, right? He's coming off of a loss.
coming off a loss.
How did he lose that last fight?
TKO, throw in the towel.
Who did he fight?
He fought Grant Blumenthal. Extremely high level wrestler, super strong, good kid. I'm friends with him too.
Right.
That was a tough fight. Watching that, it's Grant went for a takedown. Lucas stuffed it. I think Lucas maybe just wasn't thinking, and then the second shot he didn't do the same thing. He tried to hip into it, gets taken down, gets back up, gets a back suplex onto his head. He was half out.
Right.
And then right at the end, it looked like Grant was starting to slow down a little bit, and Lucas was starting to come back too. And then the fight was over. So it was, it was a first round mauling, is what it was. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Lucas is going to be able to recover from that. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. I think stylistically it matches up pretty well. Casey's undefeated. Lucas is 2-1, but I think we're good. I think this is going to be a very interesting fight. Stylistically, both fighters have just as good a chance as Zenny to win this fight. So moving on, I got Mitch Dotto and Edwin Taylor. I don't know much about Edwin. We've seen Mitch. He pulled. He
a
was
few times.
Yeah, we got it. He got his last fight. He beat Tyree Scorpion Lock.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's his favorite move.
Didn't even know what happened, and then he tells us what he did, and it's like,
Well, it's
oh,
because
okay.
everyone's like, "Oh, super guard." He won
Yeah.
with super guard, and they're like, "Yeah, it was a Scorpion Lock, man." I mean, it's like it's like his nickname, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's his favorite move. So when you perfect a move like that, and you've been doing it as long as you have, I mean, you're gonna look for it. And both fighters, I mean, you got Mitch who's 6-5, and you got Edwin who's 6-4. So experience wise, I don't think anyone's ready for a Scorpion Lock though. I mean, I don't care how much experience you have. You don't see that move very often. So when you
don't
have
even
somebody who
practice
can hit
very
it,
much.
yeah. I mean, when you get, even when we interviewed Tyree, he goes, "Dude, I had no idea what happened. Like, I had no idea." He's like, 1 minute I couldn't, I was fine, and the next I was stuck, and I was like, "Oh, I can't, tap." Like I just had no idea what was going on. And then we have the Tim Hughes and Eric Pose, and this is going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a hell of a fight.
Because, I mean, you got Eric who fights Griffin Raw under Jason Dent. He's
Right.
undefeated, a very talented striker. And then you have Tim Hughes, who's a very talented ground guy who's actually tired of fighting guys on the ground. He wants to stand up and battle. Well, Tim, you've got it.
Yeah.
You've got your stand-up battle. This fight right here is your opportunity to showcase what you've been training for the last 6 months, man.
He wants to, what he keeps reiterating every time that we have an interview with him is he wants to get away from being the guy with the jits. He wants to veer away from that because that's not all he does. And this, like Norm said, is going to be that time to shine. So,
And then we got the Tyree Johnson and James Ebb. We talked about a little of that earlier, and I'm not going to dive too much into that. I mean, this is very interesting. We said James is dropping down to heavyweight. Tyree's jumping up to heavyweight. So kind of interesting. Tyree took me off. He took me off Facebook. He deleted me from his friends list.
he
Man.
deleted me too.
I just don't
I think he's just cleaning house.
think so. And he was just like, you know what? Screw those guys.
Because then he sent me a friend request not too long ago.
Yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't like you.
I think that fight
What
could,
happened?
He just doesn't like me. Like, that's it.
Just doesn't like you.
Whatever, man.
now that fight I think could be like a 3-round war or just randomly over fast. It just
It's
one going up and one
yeah.
going down.
It's either going to be 12
Seconds.
seconds, or it's gonna be
nine.
it's gonna be
15
unanimous.
minutes.
Or it's going to be
decision.
9, whichever.
9 minutes.
12 seconds or 9 minutes. Which one are we going to go for?
And then you got Tyler Meese and Jared
That fight
Patterson.
fell out.
Did it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Who got? Why?
Somebody got injured.
Meese was saying the other guy said he's hurt.
So Jared got hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, well, scratch that. What about the Tyrese Gunther and Christina Edwards? Is that fight still on? Please tell me that's still on.
As far as I
because
know,
they've
it's
been
still
trying to
on
get Tyrese a fight for
years.
like years, man.
Right.
This is, I mean, and props to Christina for stepping up and taking that. She's from Michigan or Chicago. She's from Chicago. So like, hell yeah, man, they had to bring a girl from Chicago to fight Gunther, man. I mean,
There aren't a lot of 170 females.
this is true. This is true.
Not,
Yeah.
not that fight. They're not. And
I don't know. I fight with my wife a lot.
because I remember
Your wife isn't 170, and neither are you.
Shut up. Shut up before you get me in trouble. She does not listen to these.
Anyway.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's hard to get a 170. I didn't even know there was a weight class out there for female fighters at 170 that you can even.
yeah, and then like thinking about it, it's like why isn't that heavyweight for women's MMA?
Well, because there are girls out there, are females who fight over 200.
Super heavyweight.
That's a wide. I mean, that is a wide gap.
We are
Like,
all
you
gonna
go-
get
you
in
go
trouble.
146
I'm telling you.
You got 146 to 170 at heavyweight,
You got a
and
55
then
and a 70. You know, I mean, because there aren't. This is gonna sound really bad, but there aren't a lot of girls that weigh 220 pounds that are like, I want to fight in a cage.
Not a bit.
No, I agree.
You
you can find it for tough man. You go to West Virginia, they're all over the place.
Well, that's West Virginia.
You get you get a 250-pound girl windmill
I'm
in
done.
for
I'm done.
3
I'm gonna
minutes.
get in trouble. I'm done.
What about Brogan and Vince, man? Brogan, that dude, competitor wise, is insane. He's
Yeah.
been competing since he's 6 years old, and then as far as like an individual sport, he started wrestling at a young age, and he's a brown belt in judo. I mean, the dude, and I keep saying this, but like when he made his debut with Cage Thunder. He didn't look like he looked like he was making his debut at like professional. Like there was no nerves.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was nerves. I'm sure he had some butterflies, but it did not show at all. This guy looked like a seasoned vet in the cage. He went out there, he put on a show. Tapped the guy in the first round, and just
And I think part of it is competition is competition.
Right.
No matter what competition you're doing, whether it's, some backyard jiu-jitsu tournament that there's nobody at.
right.
When you compete, you still get the feel for competing, and being a brown belt in judo, I'm sure he's had plenty of, judo matches and tournaments, and at practice he's got a bunch of high-level guys that
Oh yeah, he's
probably,
got a ton of dudes.
throwing him around for the last couple of years. And
He's
now,
got Andrew Law
Yeah.
that's tossing his ass around left and right too.
and I don't know anything about the guys fighting. the
Well, I don't
debut,
think anyone
but
has a debut. So 170 is 5'8". So and Brogan's, man, he's 6'1". He's a tall, thin dude too,
Yeah.
man. So, but
Looks like I'll be doing that interview as well.
right, and you'll be doing the next one as well. It'll be George Pointer going up against Christian Correas. Is that how you say
I
it?
think so.
Correas. And this
We had a whole show of me correcting Norm on his pronunciation. Then he couldn't even pronounce
I
pronunciation.
still won't be able to pronounce it right. But I mean, yeah, George, yeah, he's
Roaches.
he's 330 pounds, 6'3", and then you've got Christian, who again he's 5'8". Last recorded weight at 205.
Right.
Now he's fighting super heavyweight. I question his conditioning, just because of the weight gain. I mean, I'm pretty sure that when we first watched his fights on YouTube, he was like 170. It's like his first fight was at like 170 or
Yeah.
something like that, and now he's fighting super heavyweight, and it's like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, we did some Google searching and found a video of him sparring. We thought it was him sparring with the girl Tears was fighting. Not sure if it was or not, but it was there was no cardio. Granted, it was 8
Right.
months ago, but still,
He's got a hell of an overhand right, and he's got some hard kicks.
yeah.
But like I was saying last week, George has a very unorthodox style of fighting. I've sparred with him many times, and though he leaves his body open, you can hit George in the stomach with a baseball bat like 800 times, and it's not
still
going
get
to
hit
do
back,
anything.
yeah.
It's not going to do anything to him. He'll just eat him.
Yeah.
And that's where that 330-pound gut comes into place, man. It's just
Yeah.
it's just there.
And he's George is deceivingly athletic.
Yeah, he is. He's long.
Yeah.
His arms is very long. He does telegraph some of his kicks. A lot of spinning when he tries his spinning shit. It's telegraphed.
because
But I
he's
mean,
an athlete. He likes
Yeah.
the spinning back kick and the back fist, which is fine if it lands. But for a lot of his fights, it's kind of like use your kicks to set up your hands.
Right.
'Cause everybody knows you're just coming there for a knockout. So
Then we got Parker Wills, Samuel Karam. We saw Parker. He fought Angelo.
yeah,
And don't know much about Samuel, though, so it's going to be an interesting fight. Darnell Truitt and Terry Demore.
That's going to be.
That's going to be interesting because, like I said,
Right.
Terry just won via unanimous decision his last fight, and Darnell just lost to Casey Turnbull by TKO in the second round. So I think if Terry takes Darnell to the ground and controls it, I think he could GSP the win.
yeah.
But if he gives Darnell an opportunity to showcase his striking and he doesn't try to take the fight to the ground, I think
But
he's in Darnell's
Darnell on the
wheelhouse.
ground is also he can get a reverse. He can get a sweep.
Well, Darnell's
He's
not a bad grappler. I mean,
No.
didn't he just win didn't he win the grappling tournament
think
in
so,
May?
yeah.
The white and blue belt tournament
Yeah.
that was in Cannes. I think he just
East
won.
Coast?
That.
Was it East Coast?
Yeah, it was East Coast.
Yeah.
So like he's not bad on the ground. Don't be wrong. He just there's a difference between being a good grappler and then being like a better wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Terry, I would say, in my opinion, I think Terry looks like the better wrestler, just based on his decision victory at reaching the summit. So
Right. Agreed.
And then we've got Dakota Day and Tim Fry. And Tim Fry coming out of Fightopia. And I say he's got like 12 fights. So he definitely got some experience. Now he's got a losing record. He's 4-8.
Right.
He's been out of game for a little bit, but that doesn't mean nothing.
And Dakota's a tough kid too.
Right.
Like I think he's
He's 4-3.
29 or something like
So.
that kid. But
Really?
yeah, that that could be another good 3-round fight.
That's what we're expecting for the most part.
Right. And I love seeing guys that we haven't seen fight. I like that, man.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see.
Because
somebody
eventually it
come in.
gets to the point like this, every show becomes like hyped.
Right.
The more people you cover, and that smaller community.
Dude, we've got some work to put in the morning.
Yeah, we
we are going.
we're gonna set up, man. We're gonna set up. We're gonna get it. We got a lot of fights on this card too. I mean, you expect at least 2 to drop on
One already
weigh-ins.
did, so,
yeah,
yeah.
one already
Yeah.
dropped, but I'm talking about the day of. There's always you expect 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this? The Dom Johns fight with McGregor? Or was it? Yeah, McGregor, John McGregor. Yeah, John McGregor is like 6'6", and then you got Dom,
Dom.
who's 5'6" or
Right.
something like that. Like that's
Get a whole
nuts.
foot on the guy.
I mean, but like Dom he hits so hard though. But like, and I was saying last
It's gonna be
week,
like
if
watching
John,
Mike Tyson's punch out though. you
right?
know?
I say if you can, if John could like properly utilize like Braden Liggett and KO, if he can Liggett, I'm sorry using that as a phrase.
Right. If he can lick
If
it.
he can Liggett on, man, if he can Liggett Dom John, no, if he uses reach, uses boxing. If I don't know how John's striking is, his boxing ability is. But if he's a good striker, he's got long arms. He's going to use that 6'6" frame. He's going to keep him at a distance. He's going to utilize his reach, and he could squeak out that win. But if Dom can successfully break that bubble and get inside of McGregor, then John's in for some issues.
One good slip and an inside step, you're inside. But going against someone that's 6'6", when you're 5'6", it's got to be a pretty big step.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
no
Yeah.
pun intended.
Right.
Oh Jesus Christ! I almost don't want to talk about this next fight just because of this. We're the Don Cho person fighting
Here we go.
Juan Minifield. Juan, who is 2-1, fighting at Juan 55. You get it out of your system. Get it out now.
My body's rejecting it.
Jesus.
It's all out.
What is happening?
Because he's Juan.
His name is Juan. Number Juan. Get it? Number 1. Puns. Go sit in the corner.
I'm on
Anyway.
probation.
Don Charles is supposed to fight at Reaching the Summit. His fight ended up falling through. Like I said, we gave him the time of day. We went ahead and gave him the interview, and that's what we'll do with any other fights that end up falling through fight day.
Right.
But with Minifield, I mean, he's 2-1, and don't do it. Don't do it.
He's 2-1.
2-1. And let's say stylistically, I think they match up really well. They're the same height, the same, obviously the same weight. They're fighting. I think they're fighting at 55. Minifield has weighed in at 160 at his last recorded weight, so it really just depends. They could meet at 170, they could catch weight, or they'll meet down to lightweight. It's hard to tell exactly without seeing a bout order what weight everyone's fighting at, but that's what we assume.
Judging by the information that we're given.
Right. And then last but not least, we got Tyler Lepone versus Doug Lewis out of Fightopia. So that's going to be very interesting. Doug is a hell of a wrestler. He is a hell of a wrestler.
Did we go over Rojas? Or did that one drop?
Oh, that one. I don't think that was ever on the card. That was like last month or some shit.
Yeah, it was because. Oh,
Well,
maybe it
he's
was last
definitely
month.
not on the card.
That's right. It was last month.
But
Because you had a problem with pronouncing that name. You said Rojas.
Rojas, I did say Rojas. Rojas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that we've cleaned up the Honor Fighting Championship 5 card, now let's get into
Bryan!
some other stuff here.
Hey, I've got some mirrors for you.
I know.
He's got to get the electric first. Start picking up before he starts picking up equipment.
So, what is going on in the world of Bryan and Apex?
Right now, we're just training where we can. Have the building. I have electric. But for some reason, they thought one outlet was enough for 9,000 square feet. And they didn't
That's a lot
fix
of
the
extension
lights.
cord.
Yeah, me and George tried that the other night. I was like, oh, I have a
Keep
floor
popping the
lamp and
breaker?
some LEDs with that space. And it was not enough.
We
looked
we're
like
gonna
a
bring like
club.
my studio lights and just
I've got work
surround
lights.
George. It'd just be like a like 300 square feet of space and just George.
He
in the
took a
center.
video. It looked like we were in a club training.
Did you at least have disc or what's that stuff?
Strobe
Electro?
lights?
No, what's that music that you like?
Techno.
Yeah,
I don't
techno
like,
music
I don't
going.
like
Techno.
Come on, dude. Don't say that.
Then why is it that you answered with techno after I said, "What's that music that you like?"
Because I just knew what you were referring to.
Right.
But hopefully that'll be fixed this week, and then get in there, get it painted, and get going.
Hell
So it's
yeah.
already pressure washed.
No, lights to do it yet. And actually, the BRD improvements, I said they're gonna do an estimate to actually just put the lines in. So for plumbing
For the-
wise,
Right.
So the electric's all cut?
yeah,
Is that-
yeah.
Urban miners go in and steal that.
Well, the thing is, everything's still on the wall. It's all there. They just the wires are in like the aluminum that come down the
Yeah.
wall. They cut it, so you can see like the bare wires hanging out, and then they ripped that out of the other breaker box, which they left that too. So once I find someone that can scrap all the money and give me some money for it, there's a 30-foot steel beam just hanging there I don't need, and
That'd be a great pull-up bar.
it's 25 feet in the air.
And tie a rope to it.
I mean, we can find somebody that can jump that
I
high.
would just tie a rope to it.
Yeah, rope climbing.
Rope climbing, right?
It's
25
the
feet in
beam
the air.
is attached by little steel things to the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well then we
Yeah,
won't allow
so-
George up on there.
That's why I was like, just get rid of that.
Oh wait,
Scrap
throw
some
the
of the
rope,
stuff.
have George's yank on it.
Man, that'd be so. Bust up the concrete. It's big. It's big.
Yeah, once you
But-
get it up and rolling, we'll get the cage in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That'd be great.
So Jeremy, tell us what's next.
Nautica, baby. What's going on with
Nautica.
Nautica? Let's talk about Nautica, man. This show is already being deemed
The greatest
the
in the land.
the greatest MMA show of the year. Like the best. It's already in talk. There's people already out there that are already saying that this is the show of the year. They're calling it now.
Okay, so then what makes it that? Tell us all that don't know what makes it that.
Well, we have a pretty good ground game going up there now. We have a. Did you ever see that portable rolling billboard? We have that.
Yeah.
Going. Yeah, we have that at the Indians games, festivals up there. So we're definitely getting the word out up there.
Right.
USO is reaching out to some football players. They're going to help me promote it up there. We got Strong Style. They're definitely on board.
That's awesome.
And that's
Pull
gonna be
that,
a big-
Pull that microphone a little bit closer to you.
That's going to
There you
be
go.
a big selling point of this show is strong style. You know, Cody Stevens, Aleska fighting on this card is huge for this promotion, and that's just having just a couple names like that is what's going to make this. I mean, you got Nick Brashears making his pro debut. You're trying to get, I don't know if Josh Roller's trying to get on this card. I know Andrew Law had shown interest in the card, but I don't know, he had gotten injured, so I don't know if he's actually, you know, if that's a realization for it now. Like,
Right.
realistically, I don't know what's going to happen now. But this is the card that everybody's going to want to get on. And I think this brings back a lot of, it's nostalgia, man. A lot of guys in the NAAFS, this was the NAAFS's event. Without this event, the NAAFS probably wouldn't have been as successful as they were, you know, years ago, you know, decades ago. Well, not decades, but a decade ago. This was their event. No other promotion in Northeast Ohio, had the capability to put on a show at the Nautica until now.
Right.
So I think a lot of these guys are coming in, you know, fighters like Cody Stevens are going, you know what, I want to fight there. This
Right.
is a huge, I mean, I fought there in 2000s. I was like Fight Night in the Flats 3. I fought there. It's a great venue. I loved it. I don't even think it was the Nautica back then. It was the Plains Dealer Pavilion or some
Yeah.
shit. But I mean, you're on the stage, man. Literally, you walked out. You're elevated. You come out, and you just see the stadium seating. I mean, just thousands of people right there, and then the
rush.
cage.
Yeah.
It's there, man. I mean, I still got a picture on my Facebook of a picture of me coming out. I mean, and that's at the Nautica, and you know, there was so many people. I mean, that place is huge. It's a perfect place for sponsors to set up tables. There's a ton of room. We're going to try to set up in the back. We're going to get a canopy. We're going to try to get a generator. We're going to try to get interviews with
I've got it all
everybody.
set. Got it all.
Everybody that comes through there, we're getting.
And then-
You need electricity? You call me.
And the thing
I
with
know.
Nautica too is, you know, a lot of events you're looking for fighters to fill cards. With Nautica, you'll have a line of people that want on the card.
Right.
You know, so it's not that it's easier to match, but you can get bigger fights on that card. Pro, amateur, you know, it's big. And no matter where you're at, it's a good seat. It looks better on film. So even if the fights are all just okay, it's at the Nautica. It looks amazing.
Everybody wants on it. I'm not even talking about fighters, man.
Right.
I'm talking people in this business
Yeah.
want on this card, man. You got matchmakers who are gonna want to match this card one. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like,
right.
you know, like Scott's got this. Scott's got his job on lockdown. At least, I mean, there's matchmakers out there that are picking at it. Just, I want to match this card. You've got other promoters that are gonna want to get in on this card. You're gonna have a ton of sponsors. If you were smart and you wanted to be a sponsor for this event, this would be the one to do it.
Right.
I mean,
a
I know
bigger
you're
event.
trying to get like 5,000 people into this place.
That'd
You
be
know,
nice.
I know you're trying to get 5K in this place. Will you get 5K? I don't know. I don't think so, just based on past numbers. But like, I think that you have the capability to bring in the most revenue and the most fan base at the Nautica since they were having.
I don't know though.
Nauticas.
We're gonna
I
be,
think he's got everything that he needs right now. He's got the right mixture.
Well, he's got the sponsors. That's what's going to bring it in. You got iHeartRadio, correct?
Correct.
Now you got the USO. I mean, you're bringing in more sponsors, big name sponsors. That.
But here's what the other places didn't have. They didn't have Jeremy Caudill promoting it. So with his promotion tactics is where you're going to possibly get that 5K.
And you have to make sure that they have to have the high quality fights too. A lot, like I said, strong style. They're going to bring in a lot of people. Okay, and if you get Griffin Roll guys that come in, they're going to bring in a lot of people. It's about who you have on this card. You need top quality. I mean, like when my first time fighting at the Nautica, they brought a guy in from Brazil. You know what I'm saying? They had Dave Pee Wee Herman, UFC veteran Pee Wee Herman, before he was in the UFC on that card. You had Sean Salmon fighting Jason Freeman on that card. You had Jason Dent, who was later to go on the Ultimate Fighter reality TV show on that card. I mean, those are the types of guys that you had on the card. And then, you know, like I said, ultimately when, you know, you had you know, in the NAAFS, the high sellers like Stipe and Jessica I and everybody,
Rogers,
you know, who were the high risers, the ones that came in and fought for them when they moved on to the UFC. I think that was a big that
was a
hurt.
big
That
drop-off.
hurt. Yeah, there was a huge drop off.
It went from, you know, you had Fight Night in the Flats and Rock and Rumble. Those were our two shows
Right.
in Nautica a year. Fight Night in the Flats would be loaded. Never really had to worry about ticket sales. When they left, still didn't have to worry about ticket sales. But then when Rock and Rumble came around, there were a couple shows where it was like we had like 2,200 people, 1,500 people, which is a lot, but not
enough for the
Right.
venue.
I have some really kick-ass promos coming up with Stipe.
Oh, you did?
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I'm keeping it hush, but it's pretty cool.
Too late now.
Well, not now. Not now. The tens of people watching this podcast are going to know now.
Well, those tens of people could tell their friends, and then they could tell their friends.
And this
Well,
is
then
why.
their friends can like the page.
Yeah.
And
Like
this
and
is
share-
why.
like and share the
And this
video.
is why you are not going to have to work a day in your life, kid. Is because
Well,
of
he's
what you
gonna-
already know.
he's gonna
You are
work.
going to love what
But
you
he's-
do.
Yeah, he's going to work, but he's going to love what he does.
That's why I said you don't work a day in your life if you love what you do.
It's not like he's not going to be like Brian, who
Has
hates
electric-
working at his place of employment.
I don't hate it. There's other stuff I want to do.
I was getting more along the lines of his electrical being cut.
But
I'm sorry, I keep bringing it up, Brian. I like to.
How much gas I've wasted driving to the gym. Like, oh, man, I'll be on. Ah, no, not today.
Well, you don't live that far.
Still, it's every day for 3 weeks.
Just live in the place, and then they have to
I
fix it.
thought about that.
I can't live in this environment. I need 2 outlets, not 1.
so you said you try to reach out to CM Punk.
Yeah, I reached out to him. I wanted to get him on board. I was going to give him a huge cut of like the pay-per-views. I was thinking online
Really?
that way. So
Well, you might have been. I mean, his UFC career is pretty much done now, right? So, I mean, why not get him on some low end professional card? But yeah, he's 0-2. It should be easy. He's an 0-2 guy out there somewhere. I think we can match him up, right?
There'd be a line of people wanting to fight CM Punk. You
Yeah,
know,
You'd have it
Yeah, right.
outside the door, wrapped around 3 times.
that'd be good because, you know, and Duke Rubis is a good guy, too. So, like, he was part of the NAFs for a little bit, commentating.
Right. Yep.
His gym wasn't quite what it is now. Like, he's pretty busy, but yeah, that would be a good connection for sure.
So, is there anything else that you want to divulge to us, or keep everything pretty much hush hush?
We want to keep.
Well, we've got plenty. Let's not at least with the Nautica. We'll keep it hush hush. We've still got. I mean, we got Honor Fighting Championship 5 coming up at the end of the week, and then we've got like a whole like
Almost,
6 weeks
yeah.
of podcasting that we need to talk. We're going to be leading up to.
Yeah,
the
you're
Nautica
right. You're
with.
right.
So
Let's hold on.
Let's
to
hold
that.
off. I don't want any fight card spoilers. I know we've got a couple that we've already announced so far, but you know,
He purposefully waited until last week, or no, the week before last, to tell me that Tim Hughes was going to be on the card for this.
yeah,
this
it's
coming
because I
up.
wanted a genuine reaction. I didn't want to be like, hey, by the way,
Yeah,
Tim
this-
Hughes is fighting on the card.
I just
and then go
ate
on
dinner.
air and be like, pretend you're excited.
I just ate dinner and I almost crapped myself all over the damn place.
But in closing, is there anyone that you want to thank? Any sponsors? Anybody like that? Wrapping up here.
Savage Promotions, they're always on board with us. So I'd like to give them a big shout out. They're going to have, I think they're bringing the rapper back and, you know, some other guys.
Little rapper.
Yeah, remember him?
Oh yeah.
The rapper.
Yeah, Ritzy Car Wash, Kim Tam Park, the new Melanie Lake.
You're giving your own thing a shout.
That's right.
It's all right.
Well,
It's
yeah.
a sponsor.
That's how-
It
We
brings
got
in revenue.
The JJ Boys OCW YouTube.
All right. Brian, anybody for you?
Apex Fight Systems. Fuji Athletics, Highlight Athletics, Gladiator Mouth Guards. I'm forgetting some.
We always got to give a little bit of love to Blue for everything that they've done.
Lulu.
Yeah, man. Tony's man. I can't wait till I hope he makes that transition over to MMA. With his
Altercation
clothing line.
Athletics.
Yes.
They help us out. So
Yeah, remember the Blue Lou girls?
Yes.
Yes.
One of those was his
Yeah.
Tony's girlfriend.
You're going to be
Lori, I
seeing
think.
them back this Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Awesome.
That's going to be great.
And as always, everybody, make sure you get out there and you support your local fighter. You can get your tickets from them directly, get in contact, or you can go to www.fightertix.com. You can purchase a ticket directly from that website, and you can even get it from your fighter there as well. This event, Honor Fighting Championship 5, is going to be in Akron at the Chaparrals Event Center, and I have a very strange feeling. I have a very good feeling it's going to be just standing room at this point, man. This is going to be
Dude,
a very
it happens
packed event.
every time we go, and it's safe to say this is going to be one of the best
We just-
amateur cards in a
We
long
just
time.
got one table back, so we were sold out of tables. We just got one back. Pretty much all the general admission tickets, those are all gone. But we're going to sell general admission tickets until fire marshal shows up.
Okay,
You hear that, guys? That's
standing
literally
room.
standing room.
By now.
They're done. Yeah, and this we got a week. You got a week until this event. I mean, so
Right.
if you're planning on showing up, you need to show up early. So I'd get there 45 minutes prior. Yeah, it's gonna suck.
you
Waiting.
give it an hour and 15.
You know, wait. You're gonna wait a little bit,
20.
but
Yeah.
you want.
I'm serious.
I
You're
mean,
going to be
they're
out
literally
there.
selling tickets that they're not supposed to be selling to you guys. So make sure. I mean, and the last event at the Chaparrals, it was wrapped around the damn building. So
They evacuated the building and had to
It's-
In the summertime, it's a little tougher. We're going up against the fireworks also at Portage Lakes that night, so I could feel that a little bit.
Right.
Guys that's been to every show, you know, they have boats and they're like, "Oh, dude, I'd love to go," but
right. Even with that, I think you're gonna sell out.
Is this
There's
one on
no-
pay per view?
No, this one's not.
No? Okay.
Fight.tv is not going to be a part of this, so you guys have
that-
to
I
come
have
was
down.
that
something in the
because-
works, so I'm gonna have it up on all the screens and stuff like that. So
Got a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Charge people to watch it.
yeah, there you go.
Good.
You could do it.
Wait, who do you have recording? Do you have any recording?
Scott said he has somebody, but I'm working on a couple of guys too that I use for wrestling.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Using them. Trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, man,
we have a new. You guys will see the new entranceway.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
we got a new
revamped.
entranceway.
Oh, yeah.
About 10 feet high. It's pretty sweet.
It looks like we're gonna have to grab more photos again. All the entrance photos for Jeremy and Brian.
And then we have, we're going to have the towers like Moran always had with the lights up there. So it's going to be pretty much the
Similar,
same.
yeah.
Same setup.
Okay.
But,
Oh yeah, I look forward to it, man. I can't wait until Saturday again. The Chaparrals Events Center doors open at 5:30,
5:30.
and like I said, get there early if you haven't already gotten your ticket. And
Once again, everybody, thank you, Jeremy, little Jeremy, for coming out. We always enjoy you guys coming out. Brian, you're always a welcome here.
Glad to be here.
All of you guys, thank you so much for
said
coming out.
next
we had a
week
great
we're going
time.
to try to get Brian back on here, but with George Pointer, so his day after his fight. And until next time, guys.
Later.
See ya.